We all know how the story goes. Hell, I'm even almost tired of hearing it. Palworld, one of the most highest grossing games of 2024 and of all of Steam at the time of recording, is making waves across the internet. Everyone in your mama has probably heard of it. Probably not, no. Dare I say we might be in the middle of a pal mania. Get it? It's like Pokemania, you know, back in the early 90s, or wait, no, late 90s. Fuck. Regardless, I've been waiting for this game for quite a while, ever since I saw the first trailer back in 2018, 2017, around the time that it came out. I kind of even didn't really like the idea of the guns. I mostly thought it would be something that would clash with the art style, making the game look even cheaper than it already did. Lo and behold, the guns here actually do fit the art style, now that we got them, but I'm getting sidetracked again. This probably might happen a lot throughout this video. We all know about the many controversies that Palworld has, you know, where people either rag on the game for, it's mostly just design shit, isn't it? Just art style design. No one even talks about the gameplay. Everyone's just talking about art style and character designs and everything of the sort like that. They've been accusing them of both plagiarizing or using AI art. If you think that the whole AI art thing is in regards to Palworld, no, it is not, no. It's not that people think that Palworld pals were designed by AI, though, you know, with a lot of people misconstruing that, people will probably think that, causing a bigger storm than there already is because people are fucking stupid. But no, it was mostly in regards to the creator actually just really sucking the dick on AI back when, I don't know, long ago, because, you know, this company has decided to make an AI imposter game, you know, sort of like Among Us, where you find the fake AI artist. Which, to be fair, I feel like anyone that owned the rights to any art must have gotten at least some royalties or paid in some way in order for their art to actually be used properly in-game. It's not like that. It's not that every single piece of artwork is AI generated. And now the plagiarism argument. I'm sorry, I know I'm sidetracking a lot. I just really want to touch these up real quick before I get into the actual point of the video. Now, we don't know for certain if any of these assets or character models were actually ripped from Pokemon. Well, I mean, I know for a fact that no assets were ripped from there. When it comes to the case of the actual PAL models themselves, I don't know. We'll leave that up to the courts to decide. The evidence will be within the files of the game, or, you know, within the offices of the devs, if that's the case. But to say that it's plagiarizing is stupid. Can you call the PALs unoriginal? Sure, but you'd also have to call Pokemon unoriginal. After all, they've been plagiarizing your keys for quite a while now, and you're just okay with that. So I don't think even unoriginal design falls into the well of valid criticism at this point at all either. I mean, even if some pals share similarities to actual Pokemon, if you have a keen enough eye, you could actually spot the differences. And I get that the art style is similar and that you probably think that it copies Pokemon, but to say that it is a blatant ripoff of the Pokemon art style is pretty fucking stupid, in my opinion. It reminds me of people in the artist community that accuse other people of something called art style theft, which is very fucking stupid, because I know a shit ton of artists that like to take inspiration for their art styles away from stuff like manga or anime and stuff like that. And I don't see people like Horikoshi or the fucking creator of Dragon Ball get on any of these people for making furry with their art style. So yeah, plagiarism argument, pretty stupid. Unoriginal argument, it's got some small sense of validation, but is overall pretty stupid as well. Art style theft, you're a fucking idiot if you think that. Anyway, now that I got the main topics of contention for Palworld out of the way, I would like to get into the actual meat of the video now. No, nothing here is structured. I am speaking all of this live from my own brain hole. I have no script. I will be making multiple mistakes within this video, but you will notice it because I'll be cutting it all out. And it'll stay that way lest I want to humiliate myself with a terrible take that I took in this video. So aside from all the repetitive arguments and stuff that we constantly hear on a daily basis about this game as it grows bigger and bigger in size, but I can't help but notice this small yet growing amount of people that are discussing the details and context of the game when referring to any of the pals or their inspiration or just the gameplay in general. Now, it's no secret, you can do almost, alright, if I can put your Joker masks away right now. You can do almost anything to the pals when it comes to manual labor. There we go, I should have just said that. You could either be caring trainer and, you know, form a community with your pals, one where everyone benefits in the end, and where you are the one mostly going out to risk your life on the battlefield, encountering wild animals that are vastly stronger to you, as well as other humans that show hostility towards your existence. Or you could torture them, mistreat them, not feed them, and make them work until their bones crack like it's the 16th century. You practically have a morality system built in-game without actually having a morality system in there. The only people that could judge you are the people that you decide to share your world with. Like, no one in the context of the game will ever judge you for the kind of shit you put your pals through. But if you brought your friend in, showed him your camp, and you have several chickpeas hanging by their legs over a campfire, and a sign that says, "You are replaceable," then yeah, no, I think your friend might have a few choice words for you. It'll all be good, though. You'll still be friends, right? Go on, kiss and make up. It's not like they're like that in real life. I hope. But people that decide to blow this game off as nothing but edgy and is just a means for everyone to fulfill their Pokemon slavery fantasy, I think, much like every other topic that I covered at the beginning of this video, is very fucking dumb. We're gonna be talking about a lot of dumb shit today, I'm starting to notice. So to the people that call this game edgy, blow it off as just edgy, and then just look at the manual labor of this game and then just chalk it up as Pokemon slavery and not Pokemon society working together alongside humans. I mean, you're not entirely wrong, but it's more than just that. Let me tell you why Palworld is actually deeper than you think. Hey, I said it, roll credits, you know, like the fucking CinemaSins joke. You see, when it comes down to it, much like every other video in this website talking about this game, I am going to have to dip my hand into the Pokemon well and talk about Pokemon for the sake of this argument. Now, I'm pretty sure back in the day when everyone saw the animated series and kind of got themselves acquainted with the world of Pokemon, I'm pretty sure there was probably some poor sap out there that looked at that society and thought to themselves, wow, I never thought Pokemon could actually run this deep within society. I thought they were just animals that you catch and have cockfights with until you're the best cockfighter in the world. So yeah, I don't think it's any secret that people wanted to do more with their Pokemon other than just hit them hard with other Pokemon. I mean, the Pokemon anime in itself shows a lot of ways that Pokemon could be utilized in an actual human society, though it doesn't go any further than that in the games. I mean, sure, back in the day you had HMs, maybe like starting at, I believe, X and Y, or Moon and Sun. You actually started getting assigned Pokemon that do their own things around the world that, you know, is supposed to replace HMs. But beforehand, you used HMs for really the majority of the things that helped you traverse the world. You know, such as Rock Smash, Surf, Dive, all that stuff. You can't do much traversal-wise in the games of Pokemon without actually having a Pokemon. But that's how close we get to actually experiencing a society of humans and Pokemon actually working together to help one another out. And even then, it's mostly in the humans' benefit. Look, I know that may be a bit hypocritical considering Palworld is manual labor for Pokemon Simulator, but listen, look, there's some benefits for them as well. You just gotta hear me out, alright? So Palworld comes along and it offers us something really cool. Blah 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 Pokemon with guns. That's the main selling point, alright, and we cannot deny that. But now that we have it in our hands, we could actually experience what we've always wanted to experience. An actual human to Pokemon society, where Pokemon actually live alongside humans, where humans actually utilize the full potential that Pokemon could actually offer. So the people that grew up watching the show and have thought of different and unique ways on how they could utilize Pokemon can actually utilize their fucking pocket monsters in this survival game for the benefit of both the human and the pal. You see, Palworld is not a Pokemon for adults because you could butcher your pals and have it be covered by a censor bar. No, Palworld is not edgy. Palworld is actually just mature. What the developers did was that they actually looked at human society and had to think to themselves, how would humans actually use Pokemon? Like, take you. Yes, you. average man? Would you rather pay for an electrical bill to keep your lights on? Or would you rather go out and catch yourself an electric rat to power your generators? And therefore giving you an infinite supply of electricity so long as your little buddy doesn't fall dead. Is your refrigerator running? Well, no worries. You won't ever have to catch it because a pal will always be there to help it keep cool for you. Want to stay cozy on a cold winter night? Well, we got foxwives too. Gotta live with them. No. But the point is that Palworld has fully recognized the full potential and power that Pokemon actually have, and has showed us, the player, how we would actually utilize Pokemon within our real world. Of course, you're probably thinking to yourself that the manual labor is also probably not something so realistic. But I want you to think about the harsh working environments that people have actually created in-game. Our jokes are based on reality, man. Laugh at it all you want, this is still, like, just actual labor in China. And if you think of it, yeah, this is probably how businesses would want to run things. I mean, come on, why would they want to pay a human money when they could pay a magical animal that is far more capable and probably better than humans at creating shit and maintaining a facility? And all they need to do to pay them is give them a bed and food. Like maybe a sauna, just to keep their sanity up. Businesses will go crazy for these things if anyone got their hands on them. Hell, you'd probably do the same too. The only difference is that you're a lesser evil, and that you would just treat them with respect while they also do their work, and you would pay them properly, and, well, maybe not pay them properly, but, you know, just pay them with a good luxury of living. Like, people and businesses would actually do this. We would definitely take advantage of pals as much as possible. I mean, I'm pretty sure you have in-game. If you have done it in-game, then you know, you fucking know, dude. I know you do not want to sit at that crafting bench crafting multiple items at once for minutes at a time on your own. You'd rather get something else to do it. Much like an Anubis. They're really good at crafting really fast. Hell, why not make your whole facility just a bunch of Anubis? They're really good at crafting. They can provide you profit. And they can provide you product at a very fast pace. Don't act like you haven't optimized your base, alright? And that's fine. If you're guilty of putting your pals through manual labor, that's fine. We all did it. And it's also just fine to do it in general. You know why? Because in Palworld, we are predicted as modern-day humans. Alright? We have guns, we have needs, and we gotta fulfill our needs in order to stay alive. And we also have to do the same for our pals in order to make sure that they're alive and well, and that they're safe, and that they are well taken care of, and that their sanity isn't drained. Much like humans, pals can have mental problems. And those mental problems do not help a society at all. And those mental problems could be a detriment to that pal and their worth ethics. Which is a bad thing for the society as a whole, because we all need to work together in order to sustain our standard of living. And as the human of the game, we have to go out and risk our lives to 1. Save pals from factions that decide to poorly manage and utilize pals. At least if you're good at maintaining the quality of life of pals and you're not just someone putting them into a base camp to make them slave away. I mean, hey, it's better than being locked up in a cage, you know? Not only are we going out to different factions' base camps, but we're also putting ourselves in harm's reach by traversing these lands that are full of many hostile animals that have superpowers that can do a lot of things to us. This dude right here can rip off my skin and I am terrified of him. These bitches are scary because they want to drain my and I'm terrified of the fact that one of theirs is bigger than mine. But yeah, you see how the society of Palworld theoretically functions. Pals do manual labor to uphold their standard of living, while the trainer goes out to go and gather more resources, information, and probably more helping hands to help out with the society. All while the pals get as much quality of life as you can possibly give them. Beds, food, relaxation, really whatever the fuck is in the game to make sure that you keep them in check. And they're okay with it. I mean, yeah, they're programmed to be okay with it, but I mean, like, I hope that maybe Pocket Pair in a later update, like, if all your pals are just really feeling shit, then yeah, I think they should rise up against you, because that would be pretty fucking funny. Pocket Pair, you should make it to where the standard of living is not met for a majority of the pals. They should rebel against you. That would be funny. I want labor unions, please. That's a joke, by the way. I don't know how well that would work actually in game. I mean, it could be cool, maybe. I don't know. Look, I'm not a game designer. I'm a wish list dude, right? There's like some things I want to see sometimes. Sometimes it's not good, but I'd like to see it. But there, you see the full picture, alright? It's a society where theoretically pals and humans work together in order to sustain their quality of life. And you've heard me say this already. I sound like a broken record. Let me get on to the next point. The factions. Much like how Pokemon has their different enemy teams, Team Rocket, Team Magma, Team Aqua, Team Flare, Team Skull, Team Star, that's probably the worst team because it's just a bunch of people that deserve to get bullied, Team Galactic, and so on and so forth. Oh yeah, and there's also Team Yell, but you know what, I think Yell deserves to get bullied more. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track again, but yes, enemy teams, enemy factions more like. I'd like to give a shout out to Netty to the Noodle for making a really good Palworld story explanation video. Without him, I wouldn't have understood the lore because I wouldn't read the lore because I don't know, I'm too infatuated with the actual game itself to sit down and read. And I'll probably get raided while I read anyway. And I'll probably get hungry too. You know, it's just a whole game of self-sustaining, alright? Look, I can't read and sustain myself in-game long enough for me to read it all. But yeah, there's a few factions in Palworld. One of them is animal poachers. The second one is PETA. A third is corrupted government and or law enforcement, and a fourth is animal experimentation. Let's start with number 1, animal poachers. We all know them, and we're not really fond of them, are we? No. They are one of the sole reasons why we are losing one of the coolest animals on planet Earth. You know, like rhinos. Those things are cool. The blue macaw is nowhere to be found either. Why do you think that? People really like the blue macaw. Oh, I mean, they like the blue macaw, man. And who's to say that pals in Palworld would not get hunted and poached? Because they are valuable. I already told you before, you use pals in your base. They have an inherent value to you and your lifestyle. Of course people would want to cash them and sell them on the black market. Hell, you probably bought one from the black market. I did, and I made sure its life is better. Even the guys that are like honest people that are still living in like a little rural village or whatever, they sell pals. Granted, they reassure you that it's all cool, you know, it's all right that they do it. But when a big guy in a mask does it, it's all of a sudden from the black market. That's another tangent, alright? Add it to the tangent meter. Point is, poachers, alright? You know them, Team Rocket knows them because Team Rocket is a poacher, specifically hunting one Pokemon. This is just me pointing out the similarities between the Syndicate and like actual poachers, alright? Look, art reflects reality. We all know that the pals are very valuable in nature. Hell, I'm pretty sure if the poachers wanted to, they would try to capture a legendary pal. They'd be after that shit like crap. The inherent value that a legendary must possess is very great. Alright, I'm not even gonna say probably very great. No, it is great. Alright, look, if there was a legendary animal out there that barely anyone saw, there was one of a kind of it, they are rare as shit. Yeah, no, there'd be some people that would go after that thing just for profit. And the PAL Liberation Protection Society, whatever the fuck, they're just PETA. They're just straight up PETA. Down to their work ethics, even. Like, you ever wonder why you go out into the overworld and you just see a bunch of PAL Liberation guys fighting a PAL and you think to yourself, why are you doing that? What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be environmentalists that actually want to help the PALs? Why are you doing this? Why are you shooting them with a crossbow? If anything, that's even more inhumane. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, if you're going to kill a PAL, at least use a gun. It'll be quicker that way. And then you go to their camps, and then there's just a cage there, and you're just thinking to yourself, why do you guys have a PAL caged up? Is this your means of protecting PALs? Then Netty the Noodle comes here, and he's like...
Strangely, her subordinates in the FBA went to her with lots of new revenue, but she never understood how they could gather so much money, especially by simply raiding poacher camps. This suggests and proves what we see in-game, which is that the FPA subordinates are secretly going against Lily's wishes, doing exactly what the poachers have done as well, capturing, mistreating, and ultimately selling pals in exchange for money, while giving it to Lily without disclosing where it came from.
So they use pals for profit, despite their commandments. And they do not care whether they die at all, either. As seen on the overworld. They just don't. Sounds like an animal protection organization that has a 90% mortality rate when it comes to their own animal protection facilities. At least that's what they call them. Art is a reflection of reality. I'm just saying. The similarities between the real world and what's in PALs is definitely a topic that is worth discussion, and is definitely a topic that I think video games can discuss, and that Palworld is brave enough to discuss. I mean, come on, there's probably a lot of games out there that are really more direct about this, you know, about the topics of animal environmentalists and how they're actually hypocrites. But I mean, we actually get to see how these people operate, what kind of stupid shit goes through their heads in order to get to this point. And yeah, don't make me say it, they'd probably do the same. Like, PETA in real life would probably do the same to PALs. Mostly for the fact that PALs in nature can be very hostile to humans. I mean, come on, sometimes I just walk around the overworld and all of a sudden I encounter a big old rat monkey and all of a sudden it just wants to front! It starts throwing hands! Fucking Donkey Kong slamming me, dude! Like, what the fuck? I'm just walking around! What's with these monkeys dissing my pals? What do they got from? That sounds... Oh god, what did I... But yeah, it just goes to show that no matter what kind of commandments that you decide to put up for you and your organization, the reality of nature itself will come to bite you in the ass, to the point where you're going to have to do what you will have to do in order to live for yourself. You'll even have to betray your own beliefs in order to get ahead, just in life. Much like how PETA probably goes against their own morality in order to get the funding that they get. Like, they make a lot of money still. I don't understand how this is just, we're letting this go. I mean, they gotta be, they're obviously doing something against their own morals in order to get that money. I fully believe that PETA just isn't even human anymore. Like, what the fuck? And now for the corrupt law enforcement. This isn't even just a Palworld thing. This is just a real thing. Like, dude, come on. We already know that corrupt cops exist, alright? I'm pretty sure there's a big disdain out there for the law enforcement as is, and rightfully so. I don't think anything in this world is immune to criticism, and if you're an American that wants to defend the police force and say that they are absolved of any criticism, you're pretty fucking dumb. Or I'm just gonna say it, you're pretty fucking dumb. Listen, I'm an American too. I could say this. Sometimes the law enforcement can be dicks. Freedom of speech, baby. First Amendment right. Fuck you. If you don't want me to talk shit about the law enforcement, you shouldn't have given me that right. But yeah, in Palworld, the law enforcement likes to give out that booger sugar, you know? They like to give out that good shit. Arrest the people that get hopped up on that good old devil's candy, confiscate it, arrest the person for profit, and then sell their contraband for more profit. I don't know, man, that just sounds corrupt as fuck. Probably even cartoonishly corrupt, but I mean, hey, a bit of exaggeration can drive your point home for quite a bit, and who's to say that there ain't cops that do that? There's some cops out there that probably just do the shit that Palworld does. This is corrupt cop behavior. Yes, we have corrupt cops. Yes, they exist. Yeah, they will come for your mom. I will come for your mom. She's pretty. She's pretty. She's pretty. And last but not least, animal experimentation. I mean, come on, we know. Do we even need to make any more comparisons between Palworld and animal experimentation? I mean, they're magic animals. Who else wouldn't want to see how those fuckers work? We'd probably slaughter and butcher them in the dozens just to see how they function. And yeah, we would definitely test out products on animals that have a different anatomy than ours, that are greater in power than humans. Like, dude, these are anomalies that come in an abundance. There is no shortage of them. Some sick bastard out there will definitely test mascara on a lamb ball. I think it just goes without saying at this point that Palworld and Pokemon really are just vastly different, both in concept and in execution. Sure, you got magical animals living amongst a human society, but where one teaches about the power of friendship between unlikely allies that come from different walks of life, the other one talks about society and how we have to work together in order to maintain it, whilst also tackling subjects that we probably wouldn't want to cover in the other, more child-friendly one. I mean, we've been making parodies about Pokemon for years, and we've always just come up with, like, comedic aspects of what real-life bullshit can happen to a Pokemon. Pikachu on crack, Pokemon with PETA, or something like that. You know, stuff like that. Dude, We've made so many fucking parodies already. Like, we've explored this idea, and it's only until Palworld comes along where we could actually realistically explore that idea in a both comedic and horrifying way. Like, despite the goofiness scattered throughout Palworld, there is still some level of seriousness that Palworld definitely wants to take, and it definitely can take it. I mean, it's similar to Metal Gear. You know, you got your vampires, your cyborgs, your women that only breathe through their skin, Psycho Mantis. And despite all that shit, that goofy ass shit, We got a story about anti-war and self-reflection that resonates with so many people. Metal Gear is a concoction of both the silly and the serious, and it's beautiful. And while Palworld probably doesn't go as deep as that, it definitely lands on the surface of both a goofy premise with a more serious undertone to it. So yeah, Palworld is not just an edgy slavery Pokemon game. It's a bit more mature than that. It's got topics of discussion that we should all tackle, and that we should all be aware of, too. I mean, come on. I feel like the poachers thing in and of itself is something that we should be more aware of, and that we should talk about more. Animals are going extinct, and we shouldn't be going down the road of animal extinction, as we have evolved as a species, and we are capable of saving these animals and doing the best we can in order to maintain their population. And I'm not just saying that because animals are really cool and that I just want to keep seeing more of them. No, they actually contribute to the environment, which therefore contributes to other animals, which contributes to you, a human. Like if one insect that can spread pollen goes extinct, that can change up how our environment works. It can be very drastic. If the bees stop pollinating and doing their whole bee thing tomorrow, our world will change probably for the worst. You know we need plants to properly create oxygen, right? And Palworld is there to show us the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to mixing humans with superpowered giraffes. So, by all means, call the pals unoriginal, alright? Nothing in this world is original at this point. Call their designs ripped. You'll be wrong, but you can still do that. I won't stop you. Hell, you can even hate the CEO. I mean, come on. AI art, not so cool. If you really like to suck the knob of AI art that much, I may be a bit concerned with you. But I mean, those are words of the past, and I believe actions speak louder than words. I'm gonna stop my tangent right there. I'm sorry. Once more. This video is a mess. I'm a mess. I will make something a bit more entertaining soon, alright? But I really wanted to just talk about this, okay? You can say all these things about Palworld, about Pocket Pair, about all that shit. But one thing I think this game isn't is too edgy and too over the top. I think Palworld is a bit more mature than that, than you think. I just hope that the future of this game doesn't prove me wrong. Much like how Temtem did. Actually, Temtem didn't even prove me wrong about anything. Verlisify just was a fucking idiot.